From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aylia Batool. Leaked Israeli military files revealed 83% of those killed in Gaza are civilians. This and more in today's show, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, famine has officially been declared for Gaza City, which is being invaded by Israel. The United Nations Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC, made the announcement on Friday morning. The IPC is the globally recognized system for classifying the severity of food insecurity. The UN says it has enough food near Gaza to feed its inhabitants for 3 months. Its rights chief also notes that the famine in Gaza is a direct result of the Israeli government's actions. This is the first time a famine has been declared outside of Africa. The UN's report says more than 500,000 Palestinians are facing catastrophic famine conditions, which include starvation, destitution, and death. The agency has warned earlier that famine was imminent in Gaza, but this is the first time it has officially declared it a famine. Classified Israeli forces intelligence obtained by journalists Yuval Abraham and Emma Graham Harrison show that 83% of Palestinians killed in Gaza are civilians. The figures revealed that as of May, Israeli intelligence had identified 8,900 Hamas and Islamic Jihad fighters as dead. Graham Harrison said the official death toll in Palestine at that time stood at nearly 53,000. For a global comparison, the Uppsala Conflict Data Program notes that Gaza's 83% civilian kill rate far exceeds Bosnia in the 1990s, Syria's war, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and the US-led war in Afghanistan. The findings contradict Israel's narrative and add weight to international genocide proceedings at The Hague. Israel has murdered at least 71 Palestinians in the past 24 hours in heavy strikes across Gaza, the health ministry said Friday. Since dawn, 52 people have been killed, including 36 in Gaza City. Israeli artillery firing struck a school sheltering displaced families in Sheikh Ridwan, killing 18 people, mostly women and children. 5 members of a family, including 3 children, were killed in a nearby tent strike. Israeli soldiers wiped out entire families in residential buildings in Shati refugee camp and Sabra neighborhood. In Khan Yunis, 5 people were killed when a tent near a university was hit, while 2 more died at a water distillation plant as they waited for drinking water. Israel also fired on aid seekers in southern Gaza, leaving 3 dead. Meanwhile, 2 Palestinians, including a 5-month-old baby, died of starvation from Israel's 5-month blockade of food and humanitarian aid, bringing the toll from hunger to at least 271. Including 112 children. Doctors Without Borders accuse Israel of deliberately using water as a weapon of war. The group said restrictions leave Palestinians in Gaza with barely a fraction of emergency needs. Israel has killed more than 65,000 Palestinians since the start of its genocide in Gaza in October 2023, most of them women, children, and the elderly. Civil rights advocates have objected to the Trump administration's review of federal security grants to Muslim organizations and mosques. The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, launched the review after a pro-Israel think tank accused several groups of having links to radical organizations. The department has already cut about $8 million across 49 projects, citing a report from the Middle East Forum, or MEF. The group claims that $25 million in grants went to so-called radical nonprofits between 2013 and 2023. Muslim leaders and rights groups dismissed the organization's accusations as baseless. The Southern Poverty Law Center has labeled the MEF an anti-Muslim organization. In 2017, it launched the Israel Victory Project and over more than 2 decades has targeted professors it deemed pro-Palestine. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, which was named in the DHS report, said it had no active grants and called the allegations a smear. CAIR stressed that mosques have the same legal right as churches and synagogues to seek federal security funds. DHS claims the review aims to prevent waste and misuse. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, has called on PayPal to end what it says is discrimination against Muslims. The group says the company has been freezing or denying transactions when customers have common Muslim names. CAIR sent a letter to PayPal executives after reviewing data from Compass Homeschool Enrichment, a Virginia program that serves many Muslim families. Records show that 88 tuition payments were placed on lengthy holds, with 72% involving Muslim names. Some were left pending for months or even years, while similar payments from non-Muslim parents cleared quickly. One family was asked to provide a child's birth certificate to process a routine tuition fee. CAIR says the pattern creates financial hardship and undermines civil rights. The group is seeking an urgent meeting with PayPal to demand changes that would protect Muslim families, nonprofits, and businesses nationwide. The State Department has confirmed that it is reviewing the records of more than 55 million foreigners holding valid American visas. Officials say the continuous vetting aims to identify violations or grounds for revocation, including overstaying visas, criminal activity, or links to terrorism. A spokesperson claims the effort is key to protecting U.S. citizens from threats. The move comes as the Trump administration intensifies its crackdown on immigrants and foreign students, including those involved in Free Palestine campus protests. Earlier this week, the administration announced it would also scrutinize social media for anti-American views when evaluating citizenship and immigration benefits. Since Trump's return to office, more than 6,000 student visas have been revoked, including hundreds flagged for terrorism concerns. But courts have blocked some deportations. Judges halted the removal of Turkish student Rumisa Öztürk and Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil, whose visas had been canceled. Andrew Kumo hints that Donald Trump could play a role in boosting his chances in the New York City mayoral race against frontrunner Zohran Mamdani. Details coming up next. Welcome back. California lawmakers have approved new redistricting bills to counter Texas's move to redraw congressional maps. The led legislature passed the plan on Thursday, with Governor Gavin Newsom saying it is imperative for voters to fight fire with fire. The package gives Californians the option to replace current maps with new ones that would add 5 Democratic House seats, offsetting 5 Republican-leaning seats created by Texas. Newsom said the measure is about fairness, saying that lawmakers were responding to what occurred in Texas. He accused Republicans of playing by no rules. Texas Governor Greg Abbott called a special session to approve maps that favor Republicans, a move backed by President Donald Trump. Trump is fighting to hold on to the GOP's slim 3-seat House majority. California voters will decide the measure in a referendum on November 4th. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo told supporters that President Donald Trump will help him beat rival Zohran Mamdani in the New York City mayoral race. Kumo is running as an independent after losing the Democratic primary to Mamdani, who leads the polls. A recent Gotham poll showed Mamdani with 41.8%, followed by Kumo at 23.4%, Republican Curtis Sliwa at 16.5%, and incumbent Eric Adams at 8.8%. At a fundraiser in the Hamptons, Kumo said Trump and top Republicans would push voters away from Sliwa to stop Mamdani. He dismissed Sliwa as a never a serious candidate. Kumo's camp later called the remarks speculation, denying he is seeking Trump's help. Mamdani's campaign accused Kumo of planning to rig the election, while Sliwa's team mocked Kumo's reliance on Trump's headlines. A new survey has ranked the most Muslim-friendly destinations and airports in 2024. The Global Muslim Travel Index, compiled by MasterCard and Crescent Rating, assessed more than 100 locations for halal dining, prayer facilities, and safety. Indonesia and Malaysia tied for first place, offering widespread halal food and prayer rooms in airports, malls, and transport hubs. Saudi Arabia ranked third, followed by Turkey. The United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Iran, Jordan, Brunei, and Oman made the top 10 destinations. The index also named 10 airports in non-Muslim countries that stand out for Muslim travelers. Among them are airports in Bangkok, Singapore, and Johannesburg, South Africa. Others are Heathrow Airport in London, Kennedy International Airport in New York City, among others. They were recognized for providing halal food, prayer areas, and family-friendly services. Analysts say the rankings highlight the growing influence of Muslim tourism. Bosnia and Herzegovina on Thursday marked the 33rd anniversary of the Koricani Cliffs Massacre, one of the worst atrocities of the 1992 to 1995 war. A memorial was held at the site where Serb soldiers executed 224 Bosniak and Croat civilians on August 21, 1992, after being taken from the Trilateral detention camp. Relatives, survivors, and officials cast 224 roses from the 300-meter high cliffs and offered prayers. Said Omerovic, head of the Bosnia-Herzegovina Detention Camps Association, said victims were first shot in the back, then thrown off the cliffs, and finally bombed. He warned that such crimes are still being committed elsewhere in the world. The International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia later convicted 11 men who collectively received a total of 200 years in prison. Their ceremony served as a remembrance and warning against the recurrence of such atrocities. Afghanistan, China, and Pakistan recently held a high-level trilateral dialogue in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. They pledged stronger bonds in security, trade, transit, and regional development, as well as added cooperation on health, education, culture, and fighting drug trafficking. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Afghanistan's acting foreign minister, highlighting mining prospects in the Central Asian nation, including lithium, copper, and iron. He encouraged Kabul to formally join the Belt and Road Initiative, saying China would ease trade barriers, especially for Afghan agricultural exports. All three countries agreed to extend the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor into Afghanistan, which aims to improve regional connectivity. Yi also urged deeper law enforcement collaboration and emphasized fighting cross-border terrorism while warning against external interference. Analysts say the meeting marks a rare diplomatic moment for Afghanistan under Taliban rule, underscoring growing regional ties amid international pressure. Bangladeshi American prodigy Gan Quazi, who joined Elon Musk's SpaceX at 14, is leaving the aerospace giant after 2 years. The 16-year-old will take up a new role at Citadel Securities in New York, one of the world's leading trading firms. Quazi, the youngest graduate of Santa Clara University, worked in SpaceX's Starlink division. He wrote software that kept satellites aligned to provide internet service worldwide. Quazi told Business Insider he chose Citadel for its mix of intellectual challenge and quick results, saying that finance offers the same rigor as AI research but with faster feedback. Despite offers from top AI labs and tech companies, he opted for Wall Street. Quazi, who skipped from 3rd grade to college by age 9, began his career with an Intel internship at age 10. Sudan's capital, Khartoum, is slowly rebuilding after more than 2 years of war. The conflict erupted in April 2023 when the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces clashed. Fierce battles devastated the city before the army regained control in March. 4 million people fled Khartoum at the start of the war. Now, the United Nations says up to 2 million could return by the end of the year. But rebuilding remains a massive challenge. Key infrastructure, including water and power networks, government buildings, and cultural sites, has been destroyed. Schools were also attacked or turned into shelters. Local authorities and volunteers are leading the repairs. The United Nations estimates that restoring basic services will cost at least $350 million and take years. The city is also contaminated with mines and unexploded bombs. Nationwide, more than 12 million Sudanese remain displaced, with 4 million forced to flee the country. Scientists at the University of California have found a single protein that drives aging in the brain. The protein, called FTL1, builds up in the hippocampus, the region that controls memory and learning. Mice with high levels of FTL1 showed memory loss, weaker brain cell connection, and sluggish brain activity. When researchers blocked the protein, older mice regained youthful brain function and performed better on memory tests. In contrast, boosting FTL1 in young mice caused their brains to age faster. Lead author Dr. Sol Veleda said the work shows a true reversal of impairments, not just a delay of symptoms. The findings, published in Nature Aging, raises hopes that targeting FTL1 could one day lead to treatments that reverse cognitive decline in humans. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.